Hello guys, so in today's video we're going to look at the Stoker stove from Uberleben. So I recently saw some video reviews of this stove and thought it was a pretty nice stove, so decided to pick it up. So let's open that box and see what it's all about. Alright, so inside the box you get these instructions. Pretty simple, some warranty information. And of course, you get the stove. So the stove is inside this very nice wax canvas sleeve. Looks very rugged and well designed. Has a Velcro opening here. So let's take out the components. They're individually packed in these plastic bags. All right, so I'll open that and let's take a look at it. All right, so here's the components of this stove. You get 3 identical side panels. What's interesting is that they come with drilled holes here for some airflow, so that's nice. You get the front plate with this very large opening and accommodate some pretty big pieces of wood. You get the burn plate that's has some paint or some oxide finish on it. And what's very interesting is that you have this top grill that you can use as a support for your pot, or you can use to grill some food. So these plates are made out of 304 stainless steel. They're quite thick and rugged. So overall, the stove weighs around 18 ounces. If you look at the dimension of these plates, they're around 6 inches by 6 inches. When they're folded up in the sleeve, they're about ½ an inch thick. All right, so let's assemble this stove. So one interesting feature you can see here is that these plates are slightly bowed, so that should help with the warping. So the front plate has an interlocking type of design, so that's going to help it to add some rigidity, but it's a bit challenging. Here we go. So that's it, pretty easy to install. Let's add this grill on top. Looks pretty nice. So the biggest benefit of these types of stove is that you don't need to bring fuel with you on the trail. You can just pick up branches or pieces of wood, process them down here with batoning to reach the dry core. You break them down into smaller sections that will fit in the stove. So there's many ways that you can load up these stoves, but one method that I really like to use is to line the bottom with bigger pieces of wood that will burn and form a bed of coals that will keep your fire going longer. Step after that is to add some kind of combustible tinder. In this situation, we had collected some birch bark in the forest, so that makes an ideal second layer that's going to burn very hot. After that, you add some twigs that you just pick up off some coniferous trees. They have a lot of resin and they're going to burn very hot and very quick as well. So I also got this very nice fire steel from Uberleben called the Craftig. So it's a 5-inch ferro rod with a ½ an inch diameter. So it's pretty beefy. All right, so yes, use it to light up that fire. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to get that fire going very quickly. And in the initial phase, you don't really need to fuss with the fire too much. If you set up your fire properly, the birch bark is going to ignite these small twigs that are going to burn down and ignite the bigger pieces of wood that are on the bottom of the stove. At that point, when you're getting good flames, you can start adding your larger pieces of wood or your larger branches through the opening of the stove. So once your twigs have burned down sufficiently, you have enough clearance so you can add the grill on top. So one of the reasons I really like using these twig stoves is that you don't need to bring propane canisters or fuel tablets. You can just pick up your fuel in the forest, break off some branches, and you're ready to go. So that really cuts down on the weight, and that's a nice feature to have. Another benefit of these twig stoves over, let's say, an open fire is that they're quite efficient with the wood you have. So you can really cook your food or boil water with much less fuel. The fire is concentrated inside the burn box. Another big benefit is that the sides of the stove will act as a windscreen, so that's going to make it way more efficient in high wind situations. So I've been using the Stoker stove for Uberleben for a while now, and I really enjoy it. So one of the reasons I think it's a great stove is that it really resists warping very well. That's because of the thickness of the stainless steel they use. Sure, it does raise the weight a bit, but it's really a bomb-proof stove that's going to last many years. So I really recommend this stove and hope you like the video. See you next time.